Not a lot of people know this, but in 2021, Nikon was offered a pack of kittens and a bag of rat food for their company, and they pondered it for 6 weeks. They declined the sale, and somehow they have pulled themselves out of mediocrity. And I thought for sure they were going bankrupt by 2021. That I made the video. I was a clickbaiting liar dick. And I think they will be out of business, like fairly soon. Why is my hair feathering? Not a duck. Now, even though I don't have awesome feathered hair anymore, I figured today we go over Nikon's history and what they did to change. They made 2 key factors in what helped them stay alive. We go through the history of how they were like so mediocre and just boring to like, uh-oh, they're leading the industry kind of. They might overtake everybody.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
We're on the Nikon Z6 III, Canon EF 85mm 1.2, Fringer adapter, light over here, another one over there, Sennheiser mic. Thank you, Steinbeck. Red color science. So I was living in Thailand. I heard some rumors that Nikon was going out of business. I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Everything they were releasing at the time was very like basic. And some guys with more knowledge than me were like, oh, they're going out. Like, trust me, I have an inside guy. He's all about like, yeah, they're not going to be here very long. They're looking to sell. That inside guy was inside an elephant's ass for all we know. He knew nothing. And we all made clickbaity videos and we were all look like dorks. But they did not go out of business. But let's show you how they could have. So picture this. Sony a7 III comes out. Thunder Horse, $2,000, 4K video, full frame, autofocus, phase detect. Everything's perfect. No flippy screen. I hate you. But everybody was like, oh my God, they changed the game. Game changer, bro. So Nikon's answer? They didn't answer a damn thing. Don't quote me on any of these dates, but the a7 III was announced, and then a couple years later, Nikon says, we're going to try mirrorless too. And then Canon was like, uh-oh, they announced it. We're also making a mirrorless. So Nikon Z6 comes out, and it's basically a Sony a7 III with all the same problems that a YouTuber would hate. It's the same camera, boring as hell. It didn't improve anything. Nikon ergonomics. Your mom's ergonomic. They announced a bunch of expensive 1.8 primes, and it was just like a boring looking system on paper. They're like, we have the biggest mount. No one's looking at your back mount. So people were not happy with it. 1 card slot, slow autofocus, not quite Sony level. And it was looking bad for a while. Z6 and Z7, kind of boring. Z6 II comes out, and it's barely different at all. They're like, whoa, we added another processor and another card slot. That's like 2 hardware things that did nothing. No specs increased. Flippy screen did not flip. 0 reason to be a Nikon. And so we're all thinking like Nikon's not really innovating much. Sony a7S III comes out. Canon R5, R6. They're doing 8K. The industry's passing you by. You're doing nothing fun. And then, out of the lightning blue, they make a Z9. And it's like, still shit for what I want to do, but okay, hats off to you. You got like really fat, like you're the ultimate thing. Okay, we see you, you're fat, but like you're doing stuff now. And then they start making these telephoto primes that are affordable and light. They made 15 400mm lenses at first, they had a 100 to 400, and then a 400 Pro Prime, and then a 400 less Pro Prime, and then a 180 to 600, but 400, you can shoot at 400 if you want. If you lock it there, it had a lock to go at 400. They're obsessed. But like all of a sudden, they're targeting wildlife. Z8 comes out, cheaper Z9 body. You're getting 600mm Donnie 6.3 and an 800 for somewhat reasonable cost. But still, there was something missing from the Nikon lineup. They weren't willing to admit defeat. And then they did admit defeat and made a camera with a flippy screen for YouTubers. Hello. YouTubers saved you, Nikon. You started targeting us, then we mentioned you on our videos, which are more popular than any Nikon blog on the web. And so, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'll take a Nikon hat if you have one. Now, what seemed like the dumbest move on paper, it was a photography-centric camera that they put the first flippy screen on. It was like, why is that thing have it? I want to film myself. I'm not taking photos. And it was like 100% photography-centric, but you had your 10 bits. You were doing 4K, nice autofocus, basic slow-mo specs. But you had a flippy screen and you finally entered into YouTube territory where you need to be to succeed. Until then, why even look at a Nikon? If you're filming yourself, you can't see yourself, you can't frame your shot, you can't judge exposure, no focus, like nothing works. Now that you have that, now we can see all the positive things Nikon can bring, because before they were irrelevant. I couldn't see myself, I'm not even looking at what you do. But now, it's like, okay, Nikon color science, Nikon IBIS, they both suck. Those two things. That brings us to the second thing they did. They bought Red. They're a cinema company with Red color science. We're witnessing the glory of said LUTs right now. A pleasing array of blue hair shadows and glowy pink highlights. It's a film, like a nostalgic look. I'll be honest with you, until that was announced, I was looking like, I might sell this system. It's nothing to me. The Nikon LUT original is this. You just slap the official Nikon LUT on and you get this red face. And I'm like, what is up with Nikon colors? It's always pink, and then when I'm seeing other people film, I'm like, yeah, you're pink too. What the hell's wrong with Nikon? Something was wrong. Well, Red fixed it. They bought Red, and now they have color science. That saved them, in my heart. I was about to abandon the whole thing and go to Canon R5 II, and then I saw that announcement. I woke up and I was like, Nikon announces Red LUTs. Let me just try that. They're natural looking. I'm a human boy again. It was like Christmas morning, only I didn't live alone. And then another company saves Nikon without them even knowing. Fringer releases a Canon EF to Z mount adapter that autofocuses like it was native. Like it was native. And so, like, I have all these Canon EF lenses that I love, and I was debating going into Canon just to use them, because my Sony autofocus adapter doesn't work anymore. So now I have my Canon EF lenses that can autofocus in Nikon Red color science with raw video, 12 bits instead of 8 or 10 disgusting bits. Those couldn't feed a family of raccoons. I'm kind of in love again. It's like, okay, now we have a natural look, and they're releasing like 3D pop lenses, native, 50mm 1.4, 35mm 1.4. Will an 85 come soon? Yes. Will the 24 come soon? It better. 24mm 1.2? Huh? You could do it. But now you have my attention and love. Nikon, you have done some moves, you cut some deals, you offed a couple people probably in the back scenes. And like now you're buying a Red cinema company. What's gonna come from that? Like it could be a new cinema camera, video-centric, low megapixels, super high frame rates, dynamic range out the yin-yang. That could be coming. But just all I needed was a little LUT to say, we're coming. Here's this crumb for now. It's like a Sony reptilian crumb sprinkled on our tongue when we were thirsty. Thank you. It's dehydrated bread. That's not what I needed. I needed a drink, some coconut water or something, but I'll take it. I'll take anything at this point. I've moved closer for dramatic effect. So now that Nikon has a place in our hearts, I wonder, I look out into the field and it's like, Sony, what are you gonna do? You always have disgusting clinical video look, camcorder style. Everyone's always complaining about it. The color science, something's always off. Canon, it's always crippling something. The lenses, the specs, something, it's hard to edit. You never know what's gonna happen in Canon. They're always lagging behind. You got nice colors, but are they Red colors now? I don't know. Nikon might be top of the top 3 of the big 3 full framers. Sorry, Panasonic, you don't count. But the difference is Nikon bought a cinema company, Canon's protecting their cinema line from you. That didn't make sense. They're mirrorless. They're just like, don't buy this camera. We're going to cripple it for video. Buy our cinema cams. So like their mirrorless is always going to be hammered down. Nikon doesn't have that problem. And so like the future is bright. Brighter than the donut balls in the background. Side rant. Some jabroni dick, I had a long conversation with him about equivalence. And he was like, bro, you're stupid. No matter what, if you change the focal length, it doesn't matter to the background blur. It's all about aperture and distance. Let me just show you how wrong you are. Okay, first we must stop it down to 1.4. Here we are, 85mm 1.4. He is suggesting to us in a cocky fashion that if I switch to a 24mm 1.4 and nothing moves, that background blur is going to stay the same. I just have to crop and post on the 24mm and it'll be exactly this. Let's watch his defeat. Hi, my name's equivalent to him. I'm the same as him because I kept the distance the same, and the only thing that matters with background blur is the distance to the camera and the background and the aperture. So as long as those are the same, it's the same thing. No. How is that even an argument that anyone's making? Nobody makes that. If I replicated that shot and moved way forward, maybe you'd have the same tones, but that's not what we're doing. I won an argument on the internet, and I therefore am victorious in life, and people love me now. They don't think I'm smug and hold on to grudges, and they don't think worse of me now, because I didn't disrespect him. I'm petty. I'm a petty scrub, but I'm a Nikon scrub, and that's a good thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I can see Sony's next release just utterly destroying everything we could possibly accomplish here at Nikon. I'm waiting. I feel like they usually take it easy for several years, and then they leapfrog everybody really hard, and it's embarrassing. But like, whatever. So you stay in the Sony system, and then you have that, and you can switch back anytime. Right now, I'm Sony and Nikon. I debate getting a little Fuji, little Canon here. It's good to have, but I don't know. I could see this getting debunked. Canon's not debunking it anytime soon. I don't even think the R6 III will match this, if we're being real. 6K 60 RAW? Come on now. No noise in these shadows. So not bad, Nikon. You almost lost me forever when you discontinued your 1-inch sensor series, the DL, whatever those were going to be, the 18 to 50 little vloggy cams. Didn't even have a mic jack. Stupid. But the Mark II would have. And we get neither. But like, that was almost a mistake. You made many wrong turns in the forks. But like, you're back on track now. You didn't die by the witch or whatever in the forest. You rode with rabbits or something. Good for you. Not bad. So Nikon, you don't suck so much. Not as much as I thought. Bitcoins don't suck. Subscribe, remember, did I say anything?